On Judgment Day, will you be found obedient or deceived? The day is coming, the moment when every soul will stand before the judgment seat of Christ. The question is, will you be found obedient to God's law, or will you realize too late that you were deceived? The Bible is clear. God's Sabbath was never changed. It was written in stone, commanded by God, kept by Jesus, and honored by his disciples. So, where did Sunday worship come from? And why does nearly the entire Christian world follow a tradition that God never commanded? The shift from Sabbath to Sunday was not commanded by Jesus. It was enforced by Emperor Constantine in 321 AD to unite his empire under sun worship. Later, the Catholic Church confirmed the change and boldly claimed authority over it. Sunday is our mark of authority. The Church is above the Bible, and this transference of Sabbath observance is proof of that authority. Did you hear that? The Catholic Church itself declares that Sunday worship is their invention, not God's command. If Sunday worship is from God, then why does Rome claim it as their own tradition? The Bible warned us, a power would rise that would think to change times and laws. And yet today, billions follow a tradition that has no biblical foundation. In the last days, the world will be divided. Those who obey God's commandments will stand firm. Those who follow the traditions of men will face judgment. Revelation 14:12 is clear. Here is the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of God and the faith of Jesus. Are you among them? A great crisis is coming. The world is preparing to enforce laws that contradict God's law. If the Sabbath is God's seal, then what happens to those who reject it? What happens to those who follow man's commandments instead of God's? The truth is now before you. If the Sabbath was never changed by God, then why are you worshipping on Sunday? If we are approaching the final test, will you stand for truth or follow the masses into deception? When you stand before God, will you be able to justify why you followed man's tradition instead of God's command? The Bible is clear. Obedience to God's law is the test of faithfulness. Have you ever questioned why most of the world follows Sunday worship, even though God never commanded it? In this powerful video, we expose the historical and biblical facts proving that the Sabbath was never changed by God. Instead, Sunday worship was enforced by Emperor Constantine in 321 AD and later claimed by the Catholic Church as its mark of power. If you believe Sunday is the new Sabbath, prove the Sabbath was abolished. If you can't, then you must ask yourself, who are you really following? Time is running out. Will you follow God's law or man's tradition? Key Bible verses, Exodus 20:8-11. The Sabbath commandment remains. Daniel 7:25. A power will think to change times and laws. Revelation 14:7. Worship God before judgment comes. Revelation 14:12. The end-time believers keep the commandments. Revelation 13:16-17. The coming test of loyalty. On Judgment Day, you will stand before God alone. No excuses, no traditions, just you and His Word. Will you be found obedient or deceived? Subscribe, like, and share to spread the truth. 2.